Today, we're going to be looking at a crazy method that makes a man fall in love. And this actually was a story sent to me by a client of mine who manifested her man. I think you're going to love it. Check it out. Hey there, my name is Matt Boggs, and I'm the founder of the Love and Relationship Division of the Brave Thinking Institute, where our mission is empowering people to create a life they love, and that includes your love life. So if you like this video, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click that little notification bell, because every week we bring you videos to empower you in your love life. Let me ask you a question. When you're dating, is there a part of you that you tend to dial down? A part of you that you might be worried that if you really show that part of you, the other person might not accept it or might not get you? For me, that was my spirituality. When I would date, I would tend to kind of dial that down or maybe not lead with that until I knew how the person I was dating, what their spiritual practice was. Were they a person of faith? Did they have a spiritual practice? And if they didn't, I would be a little hesitant about leading with my spirituality because I didn't want to scare them off. And that is actually the principle that helps a man fall in love with you. You have to be willing to scare off the wrong man if you want to magnetize the right man to you. In other words, the more that we try to be what the other person wants, the less they actually fall in love with the true self that we have. So many people want to put forward their best self. I say, screw your best self and shine your true self. Shine your true self, because it's that true self that magnetizes the right person to you for the right reasons and scares off the people who, once they find that out about you, wouldn't like or accept you anyway. And that starts by loving your true self and who you are. And this brings me to the story of Rachel. See, Rachel had gone through years of being single, years of not liking herself, years of not feeling enough, going on dates and having a man break her heart. And what she realized is there was this pattern of her trying to be what she thought the other person wanted and dialing down her true self. See, Rachel is really quirky. Rachel is super creative. Rachel will call herself really eccentric. And she wanted a man like that, but she wasn't willing to show up like that on her dates. And so she signed up for Manifest Your Man, and she went through this process, the whole first part of this, really learning how to love yourself, how to embrace your true self, how to shine that true self for the world. And so what Rachel did was a bit out there, a bit extreme, and that's Rachel's who she is. That's her nature. And so I love this story. So here's what Rachel did. Rachel said, okay, if I'm going to attract a man, he has to be willing to accept and embrace my quirkiness the way that I do. So Rachel had this idea to film a short movie. And the short movie was about an ant that falls in love with a surfer. And the surfer doesn't return the love to the ant because it's an ant. And so she dresses up in an ant costume and she films this short movie on the beach and in other locations. And she sent it to me. And it's weird. It's out there. It's quirky, just like Rachel is. But it's okay because it aligned with her energy. It was like her full expression of who she is in this movie. So then what she did was she took a 1-minute version, little trailer of this movie. And when she connected with men online, she sent it to them. Now, traditional dating coaches and other people say, what are you doing? You're going to scare off these guys. Like, that's way too much for them to see right off the bat. Rachel didn't care. She was like, look, I'm tired of watering myself down to try to meet some guy who's going to love a version of me that's not really me. I want the man who loves me to love me for who I am. So lots of guys were like, that's weird. I don't like that. And then just, or not right back at all. But one guy wrote her back and said, that's awesome. I love that video. And so they started talking. They connected with one another, had lots of conversations, and then decided to meet up and go out on a date. And so Rachel wanted to put it all out there. She wanted to really say, is this guy willing? Is this guy's words matching who he really is? Does he really like that video? Is he really quirky? So Rachel shows up on the date in a panda costume. In a panda costume. She tells me this. I was like, wow, that is putting it all out there. But the guy loved it. He was like, you are so awesome. Like, I've never met another woman like you. He goes and gets a costume of his own and they go on the first date in this costumes. And they love it. They're having a great time. They're connecting with one another. And that leads to the greatest relationship of her life. And she talks to her parents. She was telling me, she was like, my mom and dad are telling me that, Rachel, you finally met someone who loves you, cares about you, and cherishes you the way we do. He loves you for who you are. And that is so precious, so amazing. And you love him for who he is. And Rachel's whole demeanor has shifted. She's happier. She's more alive. She's more on fire for life. And now, interestingly enough, her friends who are doing it the traditional way are asking her for advice. And so here's the main principle. It is really hard to scare off the right guy. What if you showed up on your dates that way? What if you started your communications that way? As if it's really hard to scare off the right guy. You're willing to scare off the wrong guy. Look, shorten the time it takes to identify the wrong guy. Better attracts the right guy faster. Scare off the wrong guy. Activate the attraction with the right guy by being your true self and bringing that fullness to the relationship. And the way that that starts is by really accepting and loving your true self, accepting and loving who you are as you are so you can bring who you are to the world. And so if you'd love support with that, that's exactly what the Manifest Your Man program does. That's where it starts. And it's often the hardest thing to do. So if you're interested in that journey, the journey that Rachel took, click the link next to this video. You can read all about the Manifest Your Man program, find out if it's the right fit for you. But know this, there is a man who will fall in love with your true self, just as he wants you to fall in love with his true self. And that kind of love is the most rich, rewarding, fulfilling kind of love and relationship there is. So now my question to you is, what part of you would you be willing to dial up so that when you go on a date, your man knows this is the true you? What part of you is inspired by Rachel's story? Go ahead and post that in the comment section below. And know this, I appreciate you. Great things are happening for you right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.